everyone. We are Visual Tyre Innovation Team working for Nokian Tires, and here is our final pitch. The project goal was to create new ideas, new innovations that could improve the functionality, the usability, the safety of the tires, and create a value added to the existing product. And we also were working on creating new relationships between the driver and his car. Here are a few examples of what Nokian Tires have been doing so far. You can see their wear indicators. Here are the indicators for the tire pressure, the fancy design they're using, and the polished rubber that makes their rubber look really sexy. And Jana will talk about innovation projects a bit more.
So basically what Nokian Tires really wanted was a lot of new ideas related to the existing product concepts. So what we did was a massive innovation process. We started by rethinking the concept of a tire. Normally tires are designed for cars. We changed that viewpoint to be more human, more minimal. And we also did a study what customers really want, and we came up with lots of ideas. We also analyzed other manufacturers to see their directions, to see their future, and what was most important, found lots of space to be filled. And from this basis, we organized different kinds of innovation workshops and did some really heavy brainstorming. And as a result, we created a massive amount of new product concepts. And now Tuomas will tell you and introduce to you some of the concepts we created.
So some things we're thinking, the whole point here is making small little visual things that still benefit the user quite a lot. So for example, what you're seeing here is that when the tire pressure comes too low, it actually causes the rubber to deform a bit and then show an actual red indicator. So something very bright. You're just walking past the car and you say, okay, it's flat. Otherwise you might start driving with it. And sort of related to that, one thing we thought was, which Nokian Tires like, was, for example, having a smiley face on the tire sidewall, and then when it goes flat, it turns into a frown. Or then, for example, something, as we had women-friendly design, what if there were designer tires? I mean, I'm sure someone would buy a Vuitton or Gucci tires or something. That's really annoying. So, for example, something more functional, something that really aids you. So if you had a UV liquid film in the tire, and when it gets punctured and the air pressure tries to get out, it would actually push some UV paint out, which could then be seen. So if it's actually, the nail doesn't stay there, you would find where the puncture is. So something functional then. And sort of related to that, for example, another idea we had was, if you have authenticity certificates, Nokian Tires have this technology where if you reflect, for example, a laser onto the surface, it actually projects like text on the ground. So these kinds of things as well. Or, for example, when you're filling your tire, it actually makes a sound when the tire pressure is correct. So you don't have to like actually maybe even know the tire pressure. You just hear it. And then something more smart. So what if you had an info panel on the tire sidewall? As now they have, you can see on the right, they have a tire pressure where it's marked with a marker which one is correct. So what if you had sensors which would then relay to an e-ink info panel that the pressure is good, okay, low, or if the balance of the tire is off, or a sensor which sees how much of the wear has gone down. So that would be something more of a smart feature on it. Or, for example, distance traveled was another idea that we had, that you would actually have an indicator that measures distance traveled and it would show on the tire itself. Or, for example, one thing was that if you know how if you drive really fast on a road with water on it, you lose contact. What if the tire itself was monitoring the amount of contact onto and relay that inside the car? And here you can see an example of the visual alignment. So Nokian Tires is also looking for these very simple things that you have, for example, on the left side, 2 snowflakes. And if the snowflakes become too different on the sides, you know that the tire, the alignment is off. So it's wearing too much on one side. Or when the tire wears enough, bright red color comes up. There's a layer of red in the rubber. So that means that your tire is so worn that it's not even legal anymore. So visual indicators. And then One thing that's not on the tire itself, we thought added value for the customer could be that when you go buy Nokian tires, you actually get stickers with QR codes on them. And those would actually have information then related to your tire purchase. So that when you have a car manual and you want to find out about, for example, how to check tire wear or check information related to it, you get the sticker that you got from when you purchased the tires. And then when you scan them, you would actually hopefully below the website, which would then show you tire information related to your specific tire model. And of course, the business aspect of our entire project was that small little innovations that add value to Nokian Tyre's existing products that still give a benefit to the consumer. So we're generating interest in Nokian Tyre's products so that they get more visibility and in turn they become more interesting for the consumer themselves.
And to conclude, here are a few examples of our achievements. We've created more than 60 ideas and we're not going to stop. We still have some time. And we've definitely succeeded as a team. And at the moment, we hope that ideas that we've created will be implemented and used by Nokian Tires in the nearest future. And on behalf of Visual Tire Innovation Teams, thank you for your attention. Feel free to ask your questions. We're ready to answer.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next, Brad. So, questions from the judges.
It looks impressive to hear that you generated 16 ideas. Did you have any special ideation process to handle all that and to select the best?
Yeah, we actually did try really different innovation tools and innovation workshop tools. Like, well, for example, Lotus Flower, which is a really interesting innovation tool. First of all, you decide 8 different teams and start to spread those out, and then you're going to combine different ideas with different aspects you have.
And our main critique is our project partner. So every time we had some new ideas, we were to show them, and they were impressed.
What about like the level of manufacturing technology needed? Are these all doable right now?
Well, one of the things Nokian said at the very beginning of our project was that these ideas can be things that are very simple, for example, just a shape printed on that tells you something. Or they can be something that in 5 years' time is something that could be created. So it was really for us to think of anything that we could.
Yeah, any crazy ideas were good.
Different parts or different way to sell how the tire tell whether the pressure is okay. Does it contain some sort of
Well, one sort of thing that we sort of relates to the QR code thing, that it would actually be related to the purchasing process. So that, for example, well, maybe not like the sensor ones are a bit different, but for example, the QR code ones that would be created on site. So for example, maybe the sensor could be configured then on purchase. So that information would be collected to have something like fitting the scenarios then. But yeah, we thought about it.
Where would be the position of the sensor? Where would you mount the sensor?
Well, it would then, of course, depend on what the sensor is for. Then, I mean, a pressure sensor could really be close to anywhere inside the tire. But then again, for example, tread surface, you like to have a tread, so of course it would depend on the metric that we're looking at.
And where would you see that the outside surface of the tire?
Oh, the inside surface.
Reserve, what's the pressure? The reserve which has where would you see?
For example, well, as we were concepting, we had different ideas. We had some which would relay the information inside the car, because these days cars have many, you have Bluetooth integrated, they can receive all sorts of data. Or for example, some would then be reflected on the tire sidewall, for example, in heat paper changing the color from just, gray to black. Or
And have you used the cellular restoration that they have wireless sensor right now? Then the receiver is